My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Downfall. We're going to continue playing the Automaton. Oh, yes. As I said on stream this morning, I had a dream about playing the Automaton last night. I explained at the time, and I'll stop couching it in the things I was explaining during the stream in just a moment after I start making these opening decisions. Remove a card or obtain. I'm going to go for the random combination. Lose all solve to. Yeah, I'm going to transform 2 cards. For loop and backtrace. Ooh. A for loop on turn 1 with a giant backtrace and then just hitting the enemy for a giant amount of damage. That seems like a good idea. I like it, I love it, and I want to be part of it. But I told a story that I'd read online. Sure, I'll even upgrade it. I told a story that I read online, which was about a kid who had seen... Oh my god, I can actually do the for loop thing here. Shouldn't have targeted in that direction. Whoops, it's fine. Oh god, is it not fine? No, it's fine. Whew. But I told a story about a kid who... Oh god. You know what? No, I'll tell the story later on. No, I'll even pause for a sec. Told a story about a kid who had watched Shrek so many times that he had it completely memorized, and then he had the ability in his mind to just watch Shrek, right? And I have had experiences with that with games in the past where I've just played the game so many times that I do have the ability at points to just close my eyes and think of the game being played through. Gungeon was like a primary example of a thing that I've done that with in the past. But it's seldom broached into dreams. No more. Or rather, now it shall. I mean, for loop getting retain on the upgrade isn't incredible for us. Front load could provide some defense in a compile. It's a giant amount of defense on turn 1 if I'm using it with a backtrace, but I can't look at backtrace and go, that's my whole deck, because it's not. I need more things. For loop is a really, really good thing to hit on oil spill, actually. Gives us a lot of access to poison. And poison is definitely best when you do have a lot of access to it. My god, another backtrace. Do I really want my opening hand just to be 3 backtraces? 3 backtraces in the opening hand is not actually that bad. Because it's, you know, deal 30 damage, assuming they're all upgraded, and then deal another 30 damage. That's 60 damage and it costs you 3 in your opening hand. That's a great way to, like, skip over a bunch of enemies real quick. Post haste, toot, sweet, schnell, etc. Don't love this. Don't have the ability to defend myself any better though, so... Despite not loving it, it's exactly what's gonna happen. So 2 additional copies of this. That's actually really good. We've got the oil in the next. So we get 2 turns of a giant amount of poison on the enemy. Mm-hmm. Give him some spilt poison to cry about. I queued specifically into a shop after I gave away my souls. Yeah, this was wrong. This was not correct. I shouldn't be here. Invoke. Choose a card in the sequence for retain a hand. It gains retain. It gives me the ability to get back backtrace, do another 10 damage with it. Is that really good? Not hugely. Refactor gives us the ability to get rid of the status cards. Am I really going to be running heavy status with? Well, I mean, the oil spill does give us at least well, it gives us 3 statuses even, right? The triple slime is a status. So if I give the for loop retain, then I can retain that until an oil spill turn, hopefully try and get refactor in the same hand, and then use refactor to burn a lot of cards out of the deck. That's not bad. That's not bad, and honestly, it does feel like I should probably still put more encode errors into this deck. Sure, let's take a refactor. Let's look at all the stuff we can't get. Monkey Mess would be nice. Repulsor reasonably too. Oh well. Oh, Gelia would be incredible with this character. Get rid of that strike happily. 3 elites in a row? I like the 3 elite in a row line. Oil spill getting upgraded becomes a lot better because of it. 4 loop getting retained is also really important so that I can actually do that with the oil spill more consistently. So I actually will take the upgrade there. Ancient tea set. Whenever you're into a rest site, start the next combo with 2 extra energy. This is significantly worse in this mod than it is in many other things because you get your starting campfire, but you do not get an ending campfire directly before the final boss, so you don't get 2 extra energy on the first turn against the boss. So really, unless you're queued up like with an elite immediately after or some such, this is significantly less valuable. So we're taking the Sapphire key here. 17 damage queued in that at the moment. I've split this. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Uh-oh. Four loop and then I can't even play the oil spill is the thing. So if I wanted to do this, this would be like... What? Replicate the backliner. Let's think about it, actually. So replicate 3 times over, 4 times over is a kill on the frontliner, right? So there's a world where I like oil spill the backliner, get this out of here. It's 0 cost because the bronze core, cast it again. So we end up with 4, then 8, so 12 on top of 17 is 29, 5 short of killing the backline. And then we use 4 loop and replicate on the front line, get replicate back as a function, and then use that on the sentry in the front line. There's also the world where I just go to and then defend. Sure. I think that's probably ideal right now. Do I even want to replicate here? I don't think I do. Oh, oil spill. Why are you in this hand? There we go. That's our full defense for the turn. Alright, next thing I try and encode is going to encode 2 more copies of it. That's going to be replicate then, I guess. I mean, we're getting good defense and we're dealing good damage. I shouldn't be grumpy right now. But I am. I am grumpy right now. Currently, we just saw in our peak at the next hand, 12 extra damage in there, so we already have a kill on the backliner guaranteed. Oh, I'm literally 1 damage short of the kill. Oh, that hurts. Otherwise, good fight. The boot, whenever you deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5. That's actually going to help with that. Hey, speaking of 4 or less unblocked attack damage and increasing it to 5, minor beams. At the start of your turn, add a minor beam into your hand. Encodes itself. It's 0. Maybe we're running a 0 cost encode build. Right? What do we got that goes against that right now? 0 cost encode build makes a lot of sense if we have the 4 loop as well, because then we get to play the 4 loop and then the 0 cost encode on the same turn, and then play the card that comes back as well. Sure, it won't be extremely powerful. Full stop. I've had my eye on the 0 cost encode build for a long enough time that I feel kind of compelled to do it. Even if literally just for the reason that I have had it on my mind for a while. There's our kill. Force shield makes a lot of sense in a build like this, right? We intend to try and make a bunch of low-cost functions. Sure. It's the Holy Grail. So much damage. So now we oil spill, get it back, do it all again. First function you create each combat costs 0 until played. I have created 2 functions this combat. The first one already costs 0. This one costs 0 as well. So does the bronze core not trigger if the function is already going to be 0 cost? If that is like a quality of life feature that exists here, holy heck, I love that. Oh, that's really good. Your philosophizers gain a strength. That's some scaling for us. It's a compiler that gives all enemies 2 strength though. Hey, delayed guard is 0 cost and its defense in an encode. I have to take that, right? Oh, but we do a lot of multi-hits. We'll find other ways to get strength. Or maybe we'll find other ways to get the same strength, but just in a different prompt. Ooh. Uh-oh. Wait, I can kill 2... No, I can't kill 2 targets here. I mean, I'm already full on potions. What would I even do if I'm muddled? Yeah, nothing actually helps me if I muddle this turn. So backtrace and then backtrace cast on a single target gives me 17 damage against them. Frontliner has 21, 15, and then 19. If one of the frontliners or the backliner was the one with 15 HP would be fine, yet it isn't. So if I want to try and take no damage this turn, it involves using the distilled chaos. Literally only because I'm already full up on potions, I'm gonna do this. Goes there. Easy kills. Sticky shield. 11 block insert a slime. Yep. I want block. I think we passed the back traces right now. That doesn't feel right. I can't wake the enemy up this turn, right? I'm waiting for infinite beams, as well as oil spill to be drawn after for loop. Ooh. Oh my god. There's going to be a 0 cost as well, the function that comes out of this. Right? Wait. Hang on. It cost 0 that turn. And then it got put up there as a 0 cost. I thought it took the base cost, not the base cost, the adjusted cost in creating the function. So shouldn't this be 0 by base? I mean, the enemy's now poisoned, so we're now definitely going all in, so to speak. Okay, there is a slime in there, so that's some defense from the refractor. Guess I still ought to do that. There you go. Best defense I can provide. Yeah, like 0 cost by base like this, but it is 1 cost by base. Although these were natural zeros that were put in there. Maybe I just misunderstand the application of putting costs into this for the sake of the function's ultimate result, but I was pretty sure the adjusted cost adjusted the base cost of the output function. It kind of sounds like I'm playing, as I'm commentating the game, it kind of sounds like I'm playing Factorio or something like that, right? In the absolute best way. It's fine, just overblock and then enemy's dead. Cable spool. Add a copy of the first card you play with encode each combat to the sequence. So that is yet another backtrace. Love it. Oh, speaking of. I mean, Force Shield is hilarious. Force Shield is good, but backtrace is hilarious. I mean, in my opening hand at the moment, I already have the ability to form, you know, just with one backtrace and the other backtrace cast, the ability to play the cable spool. So another backtrace after that seems a little bit overkill. I'm gonna go Force Shields. No, I can't take a curse for... It's a card removal that I have to pay for that. I could use the card removals to remove cards. So 4 shields, upgrade to 16 block. That's good. Minor Beam Plus. That is 4 damage, but the thing is, we are currently already doing 5 damage with it, as it's 3 damage already by base, against anything except for block. So I'm kind of fine leaving Infinite Beams unupgraded here. Oil Spill would be a really good upgrade. So would the other backtrace, because this represents an additional 6 damage on turn 1. Okay. Cool. I do that, and then that, and then that. Hey, yeah, it does look like the bronze core doesn't get expended on the first one as well, by the way. That's super neat. Much appreciated. Shell. Gain a blur encode. Yes. Definitely goes in the 0 cost encode deck. Murder the back line. And then we're all good. Gosh, we're an absolute powerhouse right now. My worry is that in the future, we're going to get to the point where... One sec. Here we go. My worry is that in the future, we're eventually going to get the point where the enemies have outscaled our ability to do stuff like that on turn 1, and suddenly everything sucks. Bronze Orb. An 8 card gives us the ability to encode cards from our draw pile. I like it, but I don't want it to pull Oil Spill, because Oil Spill specifically happens after 4 loop for taking down enemies that outscale us already. Do I like it then? Doesn't seem like I like it. I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. Let's give him some back tracery there. Follow up with a Force Shield to full defend. I want to model them, do I? Sure. Yeah, that reassigned the base cost for this fight. So those should be both 0 cost by the time we get to the next cycle. It's the big reason we wanted to do it like that. Good cards to burnt there. 21 incoming damage. 4 loop Oil Spill. Still don't really want to throw out the replicate here. But I guess it is possible we draw just like delayed guard shell and then just cast those. Sure. You got me. Yeah, there's the delayed guard shell. And we've actually got the 4 loop set up for the next turn as well. This is basically perfect. Shell, delayed guard, get this back, play it, don't draw any cards, play the 4 loop. Next turn we poison. And we've even got extra block for this turn. Try and make up for the damage the enemy's gonna have. Alright. So we Sticky Shield defend, then Infinite Beams, making this 0 cost. We play it. And it puts a bunch of 1s in there. So, does that mean Mummified Hand actually says, whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 until played that turn? Because it didn't cost 0 for the entirety of that turn, lest it would have been 0 up here. Leave it to mods to teach me more about the base game. We can also see here kind of the value of this deck being demonstrated, the ridiculous amount of block we can get on the second cycle. And then we can see that exact same value being undemonstrated, as I am I'm incapable of generating any block on the next turn. Good thing we have Refactor in here. More blur would really help. Smooth it out at the end there. Sentient Form. First time you create or draw a function each turn. Increase all numbers on it by 1. Find a replacement, then Thunderwave. See, the thing is, Thunderwave makes a lot of sense right now. We create a lot of low-cost functions, and we need damage that ramps up over the course of the fight. Sure, we have the poison, but we can't always rely on drawing those in the right order. Thunderwave's perfect. Runic Pyramid has got to be incredible on this character. Yeah, you can't turn that down. Create the correct function whenever. Yeah, that's a spicy meatball. Really want to get the ruby key. First opportunity I would have to break it would be all the way down here. Oh, that hurts. Shell upgrades to compile to gain a blur as well. So that's 3 blur on the turn that I compile shell. Because I play it, putting it into compile. I almost always do these all on the same turn. Not necessarily, but I play it, putting in the encode, and then it compiles, and then I play the function that comes out. So that's 3 blur total. It's a pretty good upgrade. Thunderwave getting an upgrade, I also wouldn't be sad about. Both the Force Shields getting an upgrade. Feels like there's too much to upgrade to turn down. No. I use so many hits. Come on, it has to be this. Do I want Go-To to be part of this? No. Yeah, I guess I'm fine drawing past Thunderwave here. Oh, I say drawing past. I shouldn't have used the defend there. I forgot immediately that we have the Runic Pyramid. Do not worry, I will start playing like it. Like we have the Runic Pyramid, not like I forgot. As much as I want to target the person who's standing up, I worry that I can't hit them 3 times. So it doesn't really matter. Sticky shield defend. Sure. Take 2 damage there. This is fine. Use 4 loop and then replicate on the back line gives us a replicate that gives us the ability to put that down on the ground. Yeah, I'll Thunderwave. That's why I wanted to Thunderwave. Turns out it's pretty good. Gotta clear some cards out of hand here because we do have cards being generated in hand now with a Minor Beam. Boost is interesting. Compiling for extra strength. It's just expansive. Very expansive. I'm gonna stick with my gut and not do that. Well, we haven't really got much block this turn. Heck of a lot of delayed block, though. I can't just keep leaking damage. That's not a situation that leads to success. Speaking of can't just keep leaking damage, looks like I'm about to keep leaking damage. Never mind. Whew. I took the gamble that we were actually going to be able to get the kill there, and we did. Yeah, I guess. Just time to get the oil spill out there now. Because we have to be a lot faster in fights, it feels like oil spill is a lot harder for us to set up correctly and use correctly. Repair. I mean, one of those in the deck gives me the ability to choose a fight and use it for a full heal. We have no ability to apply vulnerability to enemies at the moment as well, though, so Invalidate is actually quite good. Repair comes pre-upgraded. It's a little bit of block. It's like, excuse me. Its real value is in the compile. Obviously. It feels like if I were in Ascension 15, this is like the 100% the insta-pick. But I'm not. Can I get away with Invalidate? Because it'd be more fun if I can. Only one way to find out. Ugh. Don't love this first turn. I guess I can wait until the enemy's vulnerable before I use this. There's no reason to use it right now. 4 loop on the shell. I think that's the best I can do that turn. Because then the follow-up is poison. Even more poison. See if we can get rid of enough of the slimes, as well as, I guess, any defensive card is fine. Trash there for us. We've used Bronze Core, though, so drawing into Invalidate this turn would, wouldn't be valid. Alright. Now we make the enemy vulnerable. Do it again. Hit him with the damage. Thunderwave for 30. Let's use the Infinite Beam first, I think. Ah, yes. Now we get to play the free Slimed. It was just in case that hit Thunder Beam, and then I could hit, I guess, Go To, or play that, rather. Decent damage. Decent damage there. Safeguard is a lot of block to put into function, but return. Gain energy and draw an additional card at the start of your next X turns. Gain energy. Right now, this is a 0-cost card that says gain 1 energy. That's what it is to me. I don't know if that's good. It should be. We'll see how it works out. I want to see if my gut is wrong about that one. There's another shell. There's another backtrace. There's a max output as well. Gosh. There's a panache? Is it panache? No, I can't play more than 5 cards every single turn. I'm not generating cards. Just getting cards back a lot of the time. Clockwork Souvenir. Starting to combat with an artifact isn't bad either. Bag of Marbles seems damn essential. We have so many backtraces. Max Output is exactly the card that I want in this 0-cost build. Why am I hesitant to take it? I shouldn't be. I'm just going to take it. Alright. Let's see what we can do about this backliner here. Alright, I feel like we did just enough. I mean, it could have hit any card in hand and we were going to be fine with it. Oh my god. Look at this. Full loop. Oh, I can't play Oil Spill. Return. Oil Spill. Told you it was just gain in energy. Delayed Slice is AoE in this deck. It's a little bit of something we're missing. It's another 0-cost attack. Or another 0-cost encode. It also makes them lose HP rather than dealing damage, so it goes under shields. And also no like spikes effect is triggered on me. Pardon me, I was lost in thought. I seek one of the Knights Catarina. Sorry. That lives rent-free in my head at all times, and it lives rent-free in my head at all times, because there's a rent strike going on in there at the moment. I'm proud of them, but at the same rate. Thoughts, please. Delayed Slice. Doesn't feel essential, does it? Take one copy. See how it feels. Yeah, these are the kinds of turns I'm a bit scared of. Oh, and the enemy has extra strength in particular as well. I think I have to... Both of them? Yeah, both of them. I can play Blur next turn, it doesn't matter. Still goes in the same encode. But it gives me Blur on a turn that might be more likely to utilize it. Definitely can't use Invalidate right now. For reasons of it killing me. It's a pretty good reason not to use something, I feel. It's a compiler error that gives me vulnerable as a result of that. But I don't have to use it this turn anyway. This is like the most powerful elite that I could be fighting right now as well, so I don't feel so bad that it's giving me the old what for here. But I don't feel good about it either. There you go. Get vulnerable, and then deal damage, and then murder, and then... Oh, the enemy's gone. Deflecting braces. Start your turn, gain counter equal to the amount of block lost. Okay, that could be super neat. So deprecate here. Terminator. This is the last card in this sequence. Function gains play this game. Oh, and it can be upgraded to 0 cost. Okay, because it can be upgraded to 0 cost, I definitely have to try and go with that. I'm pretty scared of elites right now is the thing, though. So I think I might end up dodging this first one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the thing is, I have to, though. I am bound by honor. Bat Trace. Throw out a Terminator. Back trace a couple more times. One backliner appropriately deceased. It takes 7 damage for my efforts. Fine. If this fight costs me 7 HP, that's a good fight. For having only cost that much, that is. We're digging to straight damage right now. That'll do it. Calipers as well as the Eternal Feather. Okay, I feel really good about that. Cultist Strike and another backtrace. I take a lot of damage on turn 1 when I'm not blocking because I'm doing so many other things, so backtrace doesn't feel appropriate. I think I skip. And we definitely skip the boss. The elite, rather. Unification. All strikes and defense gained in code, or I could just upgrade all of them. The defense would probably really appreciate being upgraded here. But a strike would really appreciate being removed. Lose max HP in order to get apparitions? Yeah. Yes. It's kind of an ideal way for us to defend here. Oh, young Snecko. Curse is bewildered. Have to play that first. Denies it's a lot of other cards in hand. Muddles cards, many of which for us are quite cheap already. And for what? Young Snecko deals 5 damage to a random enemy at the start of the turn. It's fine. I'm going to turn it down. Now, I can only break 2 of the keys right now, but it can just be Ruby and Emerald. Great. And, hey, the Sapphire break after having picked up Apparitions. Now that's... Wait a second. Wait a second. That cost 100? I was ready to just double-click there. What? Is that 100? Oh. Wow. Well, now, like, upgrading each of the Apparitions is pretty key. So if they're not useful this turn, you just hold it and cast it next turn. Deny the actual damage that's going to be coming in. Yeah, pretty much all of the Apparitions just want upgrades now. We have a very upgrade-hungry deck. Good Apparition. Good. I'm fine with that. I took 2 extra damage, but I have now made it significantly easier for myself to jam and slam these kills here. I'm still going to need some anti-attrition, but honestly, the Eternal Feather, as long as I go and upgrade a bunch of cards, or enough cards at least, is probably going to take care of that for us. Art of Wars was Separator, Sticky Shield, Invoke. None of those for me, though. Let's start with max output. Thank you for eating the fortune. Never mind. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. Yes, I still appreciate it nonetheless. There's our kill. Early access. No. No. The beta build gives us another, and then the full release, and the full release gives us the function that is created with full release in it becomes a power. But full release itself costs 3, so if you play full release and put it into a function, it's the next turn at earliest you would be able to play it. Now, we would be able to retain it in hand with the Runic Pyramid. Neat. We would be able to cheat some costs with the Mummified Hand. Also neat. However, the card that we would be getting back from it, like, unless it's extremely just all the oil spills, not really gonna want to cast it every single turn. Yeah, we'll pass this up. Do I really? Maybe I've misunderstood this. No, we still pass it up. Do not think I have. Oh my god, the Backtrace and Terminator opening hand is so good. One down. Oh. Can we even get another person now? We can play safe regardless. Fruit Juice, as well as Invalidate, Sticky Shield, Branch. It's a second copy of Invalidate. I'm not even using the first one as many times as I would like. Hey, gaining vulnerability doesn't matter as much to us, though, once we have Apparitions available. It's just I don't want to put more cards in between me and my Apparitions lest I not get them. Seeing double. At the start of each turn, a mirror image of the Silent will hide her real location. Attacking the mirror removes it from combat for the turn. Oh. Hey, that's really thematic as well. The after image being played before a doppelganger. Like, I wonder if those cards were chosen for flavor based around the thing the Silent is about to do. Because doppelganger and then seeing double is also like very much the kind of like the way that the mirror would be generated is kind of like moving quickly here, you'd imagine, as a rogue. All right, which of these is the real one? Hey, found it. Good to lay garden shell. Play it off again. Keep the apparitions up, and do I refactor just to make my next hand better? I think I do. Okay. For loop Terminator. Play it again, play it again, play it. Well, I mean, it only play it again once. Just the rest of it wouldn't do anything. I think I just for loop. Pass the turn. Okay, so it can't increase to have 1,000,000 copies. You know, for loop with like shell and then just playing out all the force shields as I draw them, that's not a bad way to go about this. Let's do it. Hey, if these were upgraded as well, I would have just gotten 3 blur out of that, so that would be sweet too. Those with go to, then I use Terminator. Give me yes. Even more blur. We're now just building a giant fortress. Make sure to play those out early, because I can. Yeah, minor beams were how I was really going to be testing out these enemies here. Right. Was the apparition that got made 0 cost there, but the enemy is not attacking this turn? I'm still going to use it this turn just to get it out of hand. So I'm now drawing 6 cards per turn, so I'd like to actually... Well, I'm generating a card in hand and then trying to draw 6 cards, so I really want to have only 3 cards left in hand at the end of the turn. An energy relic after this would be just amazing. I would deeply appreciate an energy relic game. Just in case you happen to be listening somewhere out there. Go Sticky Shield, Refactor. Burning those out. Hidden on the Defend. And then, yeah, see? This is what I was talking about. If we can find any way to increase our decks as well, this is going to be ridiculous. Yeah, let's use Invalid Spill first for the vulnerability. Hit 6 times for 12 damage. Some good damage. Gain a blow, draw a card, play this again. Oh. Oh. Oh, Terminator is so good. Excuse me? I don't know if it did the full wait, hang on. Okay, so the enemy was like 100 and something, right? 6 by 12 is... Yes, as I suspected. Math. It's 72. I think one of them missed. There was also the animation of something trying to hit here. Which makes me feel like maybe the secondary target for some reason still has the ability to sap AoE. Unfortunately, I can't necessarily rewind in press time here to confirm it. Or deny it, as the case may be. Hey, I'm wrong. A lot of the time. Surprisingly, I'm not even going to say surprisingly. It's not really surprising. Just a very large amount of the time. Turn refactor, burn that slime. I'm afraid I will take no damage from you. I'm also really glad to just see the silent here so I don't have it next floor. Because next floor it would be a nightmare. With this deck in particular. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't be able to play anything. No gameplay for me. In the second cycle, this refactor is just really good for burning out a bunch of cards that aren't your power cards, which is to say aren't your functions. I like it for that reason. And many others, but it's just one of the reasons I like it for. Make the enemy vulnerable before I do all the rest of this. I can now take the max HP. Dev tools. Infinite loop. Infinite loop is always going to be back in hand as another card I can use to encode. The problem, if this didn't increase its compile cost, but instead decreased its actual cost, I would be able to run it in this build easily. However, with Terminator upgrading to become 0 cost, we have just Go To and Oil Spill as the 2 cards in the deck that have a cost associated. But especially if I'm going energy after this, does that matter? DevTools being in hand at all times. Well, I mean, it already is in hand at all times, right? It retains. Remove all compile errors. Create a function immediately out of the sequence. It's also cards in the sequence gain an energy and draw a card. Return all cards in the sequence to your hand again, retain. DevTools in the opening hand is a lot of damage. I just feel like Infinite Loop is correct, right? It's scaling damage to pop in here. Gives us the ability to get our functions off a lot more commonly. Which in turn gives us the ability to play the Force Shields a lot more quickly. I don't know, I don't feel like I'm having trouble creating functions is the thing. So what is it actually addressing at that point? I'm gonna take DevTools, just because I've taken that, and I haven't taken DevTools. Snecko, I can't go in this deck, unfortunately. Doubles the effectiveness of potions. It's fine. But Philosopher's Stone is probably where it's at here for us. Giving the enemy strength, not keen on that. Getting the extra energy, though. More keen on that than I'm not keen on the strength. I think I probably do need to fight the merchant 2 times. The shells both want an upgrade. DevTools being played multiple times. Terminator wants an upgrade. Max output doesn't really need an upgrade, actually. The shells both desperately want an upgrade. Delayed. You upgrade to 10. That's still pretty good. Both Force Shields want an upgrade. I think we'll start with the Terminator. Obviously, the apparitions still want upgrades as well. Didn't even think about that. Can't imagine why. Let's murder the backliner. Then use apparition force field shell. Then get that one down to 2. Spikes were obviously going to be a problem for us over the course of this fight, so I'm extremely glad we managed to get ahead of that. Okay. There's max output for even more cards. Do I do it? Do I make the Terminator? Oh no, wait, this is not for loop. Yeah, this is return in hand right now. Well, there we go. I guess best I can handle. There we go. We finally did it. We got the perfect Terminator cards. It's pre-upgraded this time, though. Bug Barrage is a bit of a problem because I will overfill my hand with things that I cannot get rid of ever. So, no. But Philosophize. So I gain a strength on playing it, it compiles, then I gain a strength on playing the card that it generates. It's 2 strength first cycle. And then however many cycles I play after that. I scale my defense out of control over the course of the fight should I actually get this correctly. You know what? Yes, let's take Philosophize now. We found the position that I can accept it in. I said I was going to accept it later, and then I did. Man, word, etc. So lazy. Okay, now that there are these 2 up here, I'm going to use the dev tool and try and pull those out. Okay, and they each come out as individual cards. And then, 1, 2, 3, we use it to kill you, and then we use that one to kill another one. Go to defend and return. That's a good first turn. Oh, Thunderwave only hits 1 time right now. Oh god, all the enemies are getting back up. When I said that was a good first turn, what I meant is not that. Can't really do much there. Refactor and Sticky Shield shouldn't be in this deck. Like, if we want it to run smoothly, like, as I'm aiming, those are maybe not the cards to cut, but they're definitely getting close to it being the cards that cut for us to do. Glad I was so much clearer there. Okay, we got a 0-cost apparition out there at the absolute least. I'm going to for-loop the delayed strike. That's the why. That's the reason I'm going to do it. Because it wins the fight. Block potion. Merge conflict. Next time you encode a card, encode a copy of it. I do like that. Especially with 2 shells in the deck. Anything that allows me to encode the same card multiple times is pretty good, right? So we've got like the spool. We've got that helping us out. We've got for loop helping us out as well. I actually like it a lot. I'll be taking that. Increase the number on all cards in sequence by 1. The thing is, that is kind of disappointing. Save and validate. There's not many cards. Oh, shell. Shell's a good card to increase. Actually, that's probably even worth keeping it for a boss fight where I can do that. Okay, well, let's see all of our options first. Okay. It's good damage right there. We'll blur, defend, return, and sticky shield here because the enemy is actually going to be attacking this next turn. So it could have been helpful. Feels obvious to me that this is just apparition merge conflicts. Get the ridiculous amount of vulnerability on the enemy and then start stacking other affairs. If we can kill this enemy here, I am going to be very, very grateful for it. Come on. Come on, damage. Let me kill him. Well, that's not damage. Not like there's a huge amount of damage available in the deck, though. Well, that's damage, though. Because if I get the kill there, I can actually peer out this way, and I can get an upgrade, an elite, and an upgrade, instead of going for significantly less than that. Terminator again. See, the reason I don't think I can take this card is because I barely know her. It's pre-upgraded. It's too good. Too good to not take. Ooh, that's new. Silver Bullet. Start each combat with a piercing shot in the sequence. Deals 6 damage to all enemies. Oh. I don't actually want that. Yeah, I don't actually want that because unless it's 0 cost as a silver bullet, it's going to be... that's going to trigger my first function. Having its cost reduced with the bronze core. And also, it might even try and trigger cable spool. I don't know, but I have a hunch that it might. Spire wolves are long gone, says the silver bullet. Cable spool says tangled? If you thought blocking was good then, say the defecting braces. And then, yeah, wait. Bronze core, replace once every 50,000 years. Damn. Don't need much upkeep on that one. Membership card is just worth it at the moment because I have more than double the money the membership card costs. So it doesn't preclude me picking up anything afterwards. 4 shield seems pretty good as well, still. It's a very, very valuable way for me to generate defense. Cut a strike. I think I just hold. We've got more stores later on. I like upgrading Merge Conflict, but I also really, really want these shells upgraded now. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we focus on at this point. Invalidate. I mean, the enemy's already vulnerable. I don't need to make myself vulnerable this turn and match them. We'll keep the sneaky trace for another turn, where the enemy is attacking. This doesn't look good. Okay. Gonna play a defend, invalidate oil spills so that the cost is decreased on something better here. It's Something that was more costly itself. Terminator's really good right now. Vulnerable, get poison. Okay, so we can encode 5 copies of a card here, which gives us the ability to like encode 5 copies of minor beam, yes, and then play a Terminator afterwards, getting 2 more functions created this turn, making both of the force shields cost 0. I want to do that with Shell, but I have to deal damage to the enemy, otherwise I'm taking more, significantly more. I can actually hold here. We're generating 1 minor beam. We're actually totally fine to hold. Merge conflict on that new shell looks really good. We've got an apparition as well, so yeah, we do that. Merge conflict on philosophize? No, we have more apparitions in the deck. This is it. 7 blow, we just suddenly stacked there. Guess I can max output now, actually. Immediately getting to the apparitions that we're going to burn out. I should not have max output there. That was incorrect. Oh, thank heck I made it to another apparition. Oof, that could have been bad. It's a second max output. Oh, God. Oh, how do you turn that down? You don't. This is the answer, I think. You politely don't. Let's get the other shell upgraded. Upgrade 3 random cards with encode. Replicate go-to, oil spill, delayed guard, invalidate. Rad. Love that extra item there. You decide to put the forge to use and clang, clang, clang. Power up your arsenal with new upgrades and servos. Feels like the force shields in the next upgrades. Can get more question marks if I go down. So I'll happily do that. Do I want to start stacking poison against this enemy? Yes. Yes, I do. Couldn't have held that apparition. It's ethereal. Thankfully, we did get another one at least, though. For loop, then philosophize next turn. No, for loop, return, and then philosophize now. Smart idea. Gain 3 strength. Good thinking, bud. Ooh, I really like this follow-up. We pop out a smart idea. We give it a merge. Double shell in there. Get even more blur, even more damage passed forwards. Play the force shields as a result. Replicate infinite beams. Play whatever we get. Zeroed. I feel like I've kind of called my shots on all of the builds that I wanted to create, and then, like, next episode I created that build. Feeling pretty good about it. I need to get back to the new cycle of the deck. I can do it slowly. I don't have to do it right now. Can hold the dead tools as well. Still gonna get rid of those slimes though. Yeah, this will be fine. Minor Beam into Terminator. Getting the ability to make the enemy very vulnerable. Extremely ouch. Now we can max output safely. There's the refactor after I've drawn all of the things the refactor could have affected. Rude. Never mind, Thunderwave is lethal right there. Buggy Mess. I don't need Buggy Mess to generate energy for us. I don't need any of the rest of those either. Let's definitely max output first. Oh, gosh. A lot of this is really good. Specifically, I'm thinking like double delayed guard with the Terminator afterwards, get myself a ridiculous amount of block next turn, but then I'm just looking for blur next turn so that I can actually keep that block. Don't really seem that useful in the longest run. Let's refactor our next hand. It's ultimately going to be pretty useful. So what, Merge Conflict Oil Spill is happening next hand, which means refactor would have been better later, I guess. I'll discard that. Exhaust all cards discarded. Oh, right. Okay. Choosing a number of cards to discard. I was thinking I could just get past the apparition here. I mean, the enemy's probably not attacking for enough next turn to worry about apparition. Sure, I'll do it like that. $148 damage on turn 1. Feel pretty good about that. Okay. Use Delayed Slice, getting a Delayed Trace follow-up. Use Max Output. Merge Conflict on the Oil Spill, bring that back. Then we use this to return the Oil Spills to hand. Casting them again. Big reasoning there being that getting enough poison on this enemy is going to make the fight a lot simpler for us. Just trying to get a lot of cards out of hand there, as well as set up for a future Philosophize. Ooh, future Shell instead? Not a bad shell to set up for, but... Well, how many apparitions are left in the deck? 2 apparitions are still left in the deck as well as multiple shells. Yeah, it feels like I probably am going to need the shells like this, isn't it? Isn't it, doesn't it, rather? Let's invalidate, so this remains a 0 cost. It makes it easy to take all of that. Terminator being after Philosophize and Go-To would be really nice. Don't want to play Minor Beam right now. Or do I? I do, actually. Just draws 2 cards, get us past 2 cards. 30 damage 5 times. So that's also like extremely close to lethal. It's a distributed lethal, because we got lethal in the next turn as a result. Strike Dummy. Cards containing strike deal 3 additional damage. Perfect. It affects exactly 0 cards in the deck. Just how I like it. I mean, no reason not to take it, right? As we said prior, the Force Shield upgrade's very appealing at this point. So we should probably continue along said path. Hey, another shop. Probably far too late for a toxic egg. Allocate, gain an energy for each status in your draw pile. Oh, it's powerful. Merge Conflict here isn't bad either. Sorry for the folly of fabric movement right there. That was just standing up so I could readjust my shorts. It is summer. I would wager that between the ages of 7 and 25, I didn't wear shorts once. I would wear long pants, no matter hot or cold or, well, probably not at the beach, right? But I also seldom go to the beach, at least by choice. But I have to get back into shorts because I have a hot office that is obviously not ventilated when I'm trying to shut it off to outside sounds. It's the middle of summer. Just have to. I could upgrade 2 random skills in the deck as well as remove a card. I do like that. Card would I even remove? What card am I always like? Ugh, it's this card again. When I draw it. Sticky Shield I'm a little like that with. Trashing my deck is actually really, 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 really not what I want to go with right now. Replicate makes me roll my eyes a little, but it also does serve a function. Well, it serves the same function Infinite Beams does. Worse than Infinite Beams does. Hey, Force Shield got an upgrade. Definitely worth it in the long run there, then. Evil Within also looks like a real good card to just take here. But there's going to be a shop next floor as well, and I want to save enough money to buy a rare relic there. Wow. Hell of an opener, right? We can get a lot of blur this turn. I really don't want to accept that much damage right before a boss fight as well. But this might be necessary to save me in the boss fight. Alright. Shell, Terminator. Cast that all again. We get up to 7 blur. Then we merge a conflict on a backtrace. Play another backtrace. Play the final result of that. Getting about 100 damage out on the enemy. But hopefully we have the ability to defend past that. Let's output the first, and then the second. return. Not really what we're looking for. Wow, we are having a lot of difficulty finding the cards to actually encode here. Encode, 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 encode more cards, encode, encode, encode. Okay, so it's fine. I don't think I'm running low on encode cards. Although maybe just a little bit. Validate and shell, and then get it all back. Toss it again. Find apparition, return apparition, and then we can throw out the Thunder Wave. Almost lethal. Pretty happy with my health, though. I'm a dev tool to return that to hand, and then cast it again for the kill. Fine-tuning. Fortify's pretty good. I don't want it, because I'm trying to do the thing where I don't do that, but I also kind of want it. Fine-tuning with Retain gives us the ability when we have 2 shells to increase its blur ridiculously. It's just, after I put multiple shells into a single card and then I cast that card, it feels like I never lose blur for the rest of the fight. So what is this doing at that rate? Nothing that I can perceive. Oh, if this isn't an opening turn, I don't know what is. All right. I think we should start setting up full defense. So here's one thing I could do. I could encode 2 Terminators, and then I could, that is to say, encode 2 Terminators using Cable Spool to dupe the first one that I code. I can bring them both back to hand, and then I go, like, Shell, Delayed Slice, Terminator. Well, let's draw 3 more cards first. My goal right now just has to be create as many... create as many functions this turn as I can. But I can't play too many cards, otherwise the Watcher gets their divinity starts forever. Don't love this. Thankfully, the enemy's not attacking this turn either, so I have some more time to set up. Let's go Shell, Delayed Slice, Terminator, and then dual cast this. Once again, lose an apparition. That's me in the corner. It's me on the spot. Light. Losing apparition. I can definitely go apparition, infinite beam, throw out the double backtrace here. Yes. Then might as well play Force Shield. I want to put a minor beam into this. Ideally. Because I'm happy losing a minor beam. I'm not happy losing a lot of other things. That is to say, I'm happy with that exhausting. For loop on go-to is actually kind of hilarious. It's a lot of draw. Not that I can really utilize it. I think it is for loop oil spill for this fight, though. It'd be hilarious if I did philosophize instead. Gosh. There's a lot of dazed in there. There's your extra poison. I need more block as well, so I think delayed guard, then cast this. It's about where I'm going to get that from right now. Last turn. Get another 22 block incoming here. We're not going to be able to use go-to for a bunch of draw yet. I don't think we're going to be able to use it for a bunch of draw at all. Difficult enemy. Function immediately out of the sequence, exhaust cards and I mean, gaining a bunch of energy would give me the ability to play a bunch of cards, but then the enemy is going to be in that divinity stance forever. It's just going to be really hard for us to get back to the oil spill so we can actually start dealing damage again is the thing. May end up having to use something like a gambler. Like, I can try and start gaining strength with the philosophize, but giving the enemy strength scares me deeply with all these. I was really hoping to hit more. Do I lose this fight if I don't do the Velocifies? So we end up gaining 3 strength out of it. No. No, I don't think we can. I can save a lot of armor that I get to use later with the apparition here. I'm pretty happy doing that. Expunger is probably this enemy's most powerful turn. I wonder if I just have to give them the divinity stance at some point, because this is getting untenable. I can't play any cards any turn if I actually want the enemy not to crush me. And if I'm not drawing any of the new cards in my deck, what am I doing? I'm just going to run out of the resources I have in hand and then die. If I give... I mean, I guess if I give her Divinity right now, I do have Apparition to follow it. I'm permanently weakened in this fight as well, which is certainly not helping. Something's got to give, otherwise I'm already screwed. I'm going to remove the compile errors from them, though. What if I take one more turn before I do this? One more turn. All right. It begins. The beginning of the end of us. The incoming damage is immediately amplified. Look at that draw pile. There is so little I think we can even do at this point. Oh, God. Yeah, this is the turn for the apparition. Good reason I saved it. I don't even know how powerful Thunderwave is going to be here, but somehow I feel like it's just not going to be enough. All with a hunch. Alright, skill potion, what do you got? Make the enemy weak this turn. Gain weak myself. It's fine, I'm always weak. Spaghetti code seems like it's possible. That could try and save us, though. Boost and fortify, and then cut through, I guess. What? Oh, so the compile effect of cut through drew us a card, so then the function went to the discard pile. Wow. Wow, is that ever rude? All right. Here's where I look for defense. Well, there's where I looked for defense. You're kidding me, right? That's it's gonna be all she wrote. The "you're kidding me" right there is no, but Oil Spill was the last card I drew, so I wouldn't have been able to cast Oil Spill. It's if I'd held the function creating the function damaging card, the Thunder Wave, would I have had lethal there? I don't think I would have, because I think I would have needed to still draw a final card. That is to say, the final card that I drew, which I cast for damage, would not have been in my hand at that point. However, if we didn't... I mean, we learned the lesson, right? The compile effects happen before the function is added to your hand. So you can have the function not go to your hand, right? That makes sense, but it's the kind of thing I still need to work around. Oh, rough. It was such a good run. Why did it have to end this way? One problem there is kind of obvious, right? The amount of max outputs that we put into the deck, the fact that we weren't cycling through the deck on a lot of turns because we couldn't play that many cards. Also, that fight, this deck just, what's it supposed to do? It's real rough. Unless I cast at least 5 cards in a turn, I can't do anything. Because all of them are set up and then there's, you know, the single large execute. I think we would have been fine against anything except for Watcher, TBH. Although I don't know all of the other options. I do just know Poison Silent and Orb Defect so far. So we'll have a look at some of the others in the future, but for the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. Name of the game has been Slay the Spire Downfall. Playlists are in the description down below, as well as all of the links that you're looking for. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.